It is time, boys and girls. Time for a trial. I don't know why it says trial former, but okay. Now, between recording this and the last episode, I totally, or at least the last video I recorded, this is as far as I got because I wanted to study up the case to actually, build up a case, just so I can be absolutely, sure and ready and not be thinking for like minutes, like just in case. So this is as far as I got. The rest of the stuff, though, I don't know what's gonna happen. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there is still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to the trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. I mean, as a lawyer, of course, we should know that, but, Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. And it's not just because you clearly look like her. No, there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it is almost time for a trial. Aw, she's hard. She's stricken. She's stricken. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail on me out on me this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright, let's go. Let us go. Watch out for courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. There he is. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Yes, the cough-up queen. The queen of coughing up something, alright. No. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh ho ho, caviar! I never eaten caviar before! The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So, this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar wouldn't taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession. Now. You ain't waiting. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I am not finished eating. Bro, the judge. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Oh, is she actually a police dude? Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. Aha. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Ah-ha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Does the cough up actually mean that she's like... She's like an expert of getting people to spill secrets over like lunch? Very well. You may continue with your description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. All right, let's see what you got. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Okay. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who is this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. And there we go. Parking lot floor plans. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Wait, she apprehended him? That seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? Wow! If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, oh my god. Wait, are they talking about me? Yes, they clearly are. Okay, let's see what you got. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. Wait, she knew a day like this? I mean, given the fact that she doesn't really like prosecutors all that much, like, or maybe defense attorneys, I'm not, wait, what was the profile again? Never mind. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Jeez, man. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. That's it, huh? Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife. Oh my god. Of which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound. Merely a flesh wound. Mr. Wright? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. At least Edgeworth is going to be fair here. Unlike Von Karma. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors? Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was looking for, because it's been a hot minute, but like, you know, I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Ah, so she got fired. She got fired from her job by one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Star. Next, she was on her way to deliver a lunchbox to her boyfriend then. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several. Oh, God. Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boy. Oh, my God. She gets around just like Larry's girlfriends do. Care to join? Oh, my God. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, this judge had to think before replying. Ha! The security guard room is in the lot in A block. That's right, it is. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the big security sign. But we didn't really see the full... For all we know, that could be like the... Actually, that wouldn't be actually practical. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch... Did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I am a visitor now, I am parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. That she was. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say, oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. So he's like a new guy or something. Then I must be a hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, she saw Lana, you know, standing next to a garage car. By garage car, you mean Mr. Edwards' car? Yes. Mr. Edwards? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edwards. Wasn't it? Indeed, it was. Yeah. What an odd case this is. I like how the judge didn't even bother with just, like, smacking his gavel when the people talked. Or when the jury talked. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Yes, this is exactly what defense attorneys do. They nitpick the facts. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. Is this gonna be another one of those cases? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. Oh damn, that was inspiring. Oh my god, I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. Could you cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to a lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Oh, photograph. Again, a photograph. Photograph, you took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap! I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. Oh my god! It's that kind of work, isn't it? Spy work. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Oh, my boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. But like... Why is there blood on, like, the shirt she's wearing? Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. But wait, how do we know it's the... Wait, do we? Nah. Yeah, wrong, but just in case... Just in case. Because it was holding a knife. Then that way it would be like... Hold on just a second. Like, we have the photo, right? Yeah, we do. I mean, you clearly saw the thing in the right hand. But was she wearing gloves, though? Was she wearing anything? Like... I'll press before I present. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that is about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg? I mean, person? Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust it into the detective's chest. Then. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the hand to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. Well, she was holding the knife. She was definitely holding the knife. So, I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me feel calmer. Don't smile like that! Well, I mean, we do have to present something. Because, well, that's the thing. She was holding a knife in her right hand, but the fact that the thing had no prints on it is just, it's just a little bit fishy to me. Clear of it. What? Are you actually serious? Really? Really? Not at all. Please think over the fact. Why? Okay. Sure. Sure thing. Okay, then I'll take that. I'll take that L then. She tossed the tip of the knife into the chest. Let's see. I saw next to a garish card. That. It's only a flesh room, and yeah. Hang on a second. Hold up a second. I think maybe. I think possibly. Like, then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the Goodman's chest, and the prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Like, the photo that we got was maybe after? Maybe. Yeah! And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it's on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph every time I do it. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding the knife? Yeah, I knew I was on the right track with that one other statement, because, like, I did take that penalty, yeah, but, like, the knife clearly has no prints on it. Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yeah, yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. Huh? Yeah, I noticed that too. See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? I mean, no, because, like, maybe the blood could have been planted on there, or possibly anything else. Wait, that contradicts to what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Oh, wow, she is an expert. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, you can try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Get advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but get advice. I didn't have the time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. A premeditated murder? What? Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Yeah, that's why there couldn't be any prints on it. Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Oh, damn. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? Those gloves are admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star. This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I gotta think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. Yeah, it's only a flesh wound, Show thing. So, all of this is... wait. I thought that said something different. Never mind. The murder was planned, but... Okay. Standing next to her. The rubber gloves prove it. What do we have? What do we have for that? I mean, the autopsy report clearly stated that, you know... what the okay. Let's try to think about this for a moment. Okay, victim's memo 725 yeah, 675 12/2 about the loss of blood then. Bruce Goodman, age 36, male, time of death, February 21st. Between 4 p.m. and 5, yeah. Loss of blood from a chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab was found. Why do the rubber gloves prove it? Shouldn't it be that the knife proves it? Like, the knife is the murder weapon. Why would she say that? Why would she say that, you know, the murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it? And there were no, like, prints on it. Yeah. Yeah. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box launches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgewood's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? Why are there kids here? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she also not prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. Yeah, let's go. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ooh. Ooh. There it is. There's the orders. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Well, don't pop off just yet. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. I mean, if you want to eat Edward's pie, you know what I'm saying. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if this was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned! If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Wearing what, sir? Please, tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Yeah, really. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. No, that's a single stab wound. There was a single wound, you fool. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. Does it sound a lot, it does sound like a lot like a prelude there, doesn't it? So if I order pizza, could that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Okay, because that is stabbing again and again. Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not. You know, as always, we save before pressing. So, you said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie, yeah, no. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Dude! Now, why do you believe the suspect have intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. That's why. You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Skye's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you couldn't have tried the public phone first, at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? What do you think was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? Yeah, the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Yeah, but... Yes, but why? What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie? I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? Oh God, it's a victim. It's proof of the other side, isn't it? See? We agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. What? What? This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction. What? Please. Can't you find fault of something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's eyes smell like citrus food. What? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that. This is a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. The star has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. That's a fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of a candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick, it will burn longer. Yes. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Is that all to that, or... Yes, okay. Sure. But the thing is, it's like... I know, like, the sole fact... I know the very sole fact that she said again and again could be grounds of the autopsy report saying, you know, a single stab wound was found. You know, a single stab wound. Like, if this is wrong, I swear to God. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise! I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. Ha! What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really? What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness, you got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. She always has a lunchbox for everything. I bet she has like 100. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. Now, I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw, what you thought, blah, blah. Yeah, what you thought was blood. Testified! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. Huh? Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. How could she easily hanged at a moment? She can be so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for spattered blood? But then what about the stuff on the shirt she was wearing? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. The judge with the bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. But try all the time, Phoenix. Try all the time. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. I mean, that could very well be the scarf, too. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Star isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Stars turned out to be as short as tempered. So one objection only led to changing up the testimony then. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. I mean, let's take a look at this again. I mean, was she even wearing that? Or maybe it could have been, the detective's clothes that she was wearing in order to... gotta think about this for a moment. Yeah, the ghastly... that statement bothers me. That statement bothers me. Like, her red muffler looks like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Like, the whole scene. But, like, according to the photo... Like, according to the whole thing, it was only stabbed once, and, like, she was only... The blood was only on the shirt. Like, this doesn't look like... Yeah. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. Oh, God. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself. With this photograph... Oh, she wasn't wearing it! But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady would be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, chopped liver? Yeah, exactly. My boy Nick is being cucked. But was there a scarf? No, not that. But something red. Really? Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? So Edgeworth is still on our side. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. All right, let's see. How exactly did she do this? After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition left off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had confused me in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Don't! The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Isn't that why the oil drum was knocked over when we saw it at the office? Or in the parking lot? Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, first off, after the murder, the suspect ran behind a partition off to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means the wall next to the car. That's right. Yeah, there's a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. What did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? Yeah, because she said like 30 feet away, so obviously it must have been like a decent distance. As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Yeah, 30 feet, yeah. Well, maybe I should press her for more details. I like to see on the I like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor. Thus, she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is this correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link in the front of the fence. Yeah. How could she have done that? How? But there was a chain link in the chain link fence in front of you? I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cop-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. But she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Guy not get away? Yeah, how? Maybe Angel called her boyfriend? She obtained the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Ah, that. Yeah, she was probably... Do you mean this cell phone discovered at the scene of the crime? Yeah, she was talking to her sister then. Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory? It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't say, Miss Star. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Yeah, there was a phone. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. So she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call to Emma at 5:18. Okay. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall and had to use her cell instead. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and then ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. That's when she made her way over the fence. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Yo, that art. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made an escape. No, wait a minute. Hold up a second. Hold up a singular second. Well, before we do that, she made you escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of blood on a pate of foie gras. Huh? Then she even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other... the parking lot entrance. That's right. She didn't... It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run. sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Because, like... No, like... Here. Yeah. You quickly caught her, explained the rights. When I arrested her, she obtained a muffler. I saw it all, how the phone was on the... Okay. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. Chief Prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. But wasn't the cell phone near the car, though? That's the thing. Like, the cell phone was clearly near the car. And, like, yeah, no. Like, the phone. The phone. Because, like, we found the cell phone near the car. But, like, clearly it made it sound like she dropped her phone when after she tried the public phone. So, you know, it's so weird, dude. It's so weird. Yeah. Okay. Thinking. I'm a thinker, man. I saw it all. How she tried to phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. Like, unless she was climbing over the fence at the time, because she was clearly trying to climb over the fence, and she had to use her phone. And you know, Lana was trying to use her phone, or using any phone really. She clearly caught Angel caught Lana over where the phones were. But I don't think she could have clearly seen where the things were. Yeah. See? Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. Why, though? The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Wow. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, she could have possibly... Yeah, she couldn't have seen that. See, that's what I was talking about. Like, I believe I see what I'm getting at. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Yeah! Yeah, boy! Order! I didn't slide my gavel. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, but she's coughing up lies. Oh! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie the witness has to tell the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what? Yep. Yeah, clearly where she saw the thing happen, because she was at B block the whole time. She could have known that Lana was making a phone call from the other side because the partition was blocking it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least tell me it. Or at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question for our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we heard to now points in one direction. Yeah, the place where she saw it was from here. Like, in this little area right here. I think. I mean, it's highly likely that's where she was. You think? It's highly likely? Your cavalier attitude stands in stark contrast to your feeble argument, Mr. Wright. Her being there wouldn't change a thing. What? For realsies? Okay. Okay. Because I was pretty sure that's how it happened. I mean, really? Really? Okay. No. Wait a minute. Yeah. From the security room. You can see, like, everything from there, apparently. So, this is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed. The security room is in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. Where she would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being a part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? Yeah, she could have seen the crime from there instead of, B block. How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could have been turned. The turns have been tabled. Today, a man has gotten better of Angel Star. That is correct, sir. Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't it strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? How could she could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk without good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Okay. So Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Yes, from there you can literally see the entire lot. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Obviously not. Yeah, a different angle. why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. Maybe she only thought she saw him. The crime happened. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor. And, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Yes, I would like to consider yes. Gosh. I mean, like, I mean, it was a good guess. For me, it was probably like a good guess, yeah, but like, dude. Yeah, no, it would be a different from the distance. She saw it from far away then. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans is quite clear. The distance between the guard station is 30 feet. What? Really? I don't see how. What? What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Yeah! Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? You? Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inevitable. I was bringing a PB&J lunch of fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't at the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Oh. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite the detour. I mean, almost anything could happen at that time. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, how? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Absolutely. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. That's right, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? I mean, do I? Because I really don't want to lose here. Objection. 5 minutes between the witnessing and the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that time, if you like it al dente. I got lunchboxes of Thai pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime, even had her picture taken. No true criminal will act this way. It's inconceivable. Ah! Aha! Well then, it seems we come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Cough Queen has been dethroned. Haha, yes. And with that, court is adjourned. Oh! 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 What's up? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid reels, right? What? That's the one she tried to foist off of me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive... what? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mister. Ah. Is this your jumbo? I don't know why that sparkle sound effect made me laugh, dude. It just made me laugh. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple decker! Out of deference to the witness determination, I'll add one more test. Oh my god, are you serious, dude? Are you serious? Come on! Like the Lunchline motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Okay, let's see. You know what? Yeah, let's go full throttle. Let's see what we got. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, at the matter to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One is, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland. Full of your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends and forensic... What? She's prepared for everything, dude. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. Whoa! So he is still on our side then, even if he's the prosecutor. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh no, does she have approval from the police department after all? Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public could produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Again, Mr. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You can at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White Emmanuel's shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Ooh, boy. What is going on here, man? What is going on? Why did you lie about those first 5 minutes? I guess you could say I wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy and vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now to the victim of the matter shooter. And yeah. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood. But then why does it carry Lana's blood then? So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence to court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there are 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant. See, that's the part. That's the part. You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh. Well, speak up! Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood just down to 1 person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proves it. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ew, gross. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Actually, could we check this shoe, actually? Ah, there was blood on the shoe. Ah, there's blood on here, too. On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped into a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Yeah, because we already know the blood on the side of the shoe.
Yeah, Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Yeah, like, is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yeah, probably, because there was blood not only on the side of the shoe, but also on the bottom. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there was one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, couldn't you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Yeah, like... See, there's blood on the side of the shoe, right? But there's also on the bottom of the shoe. Like... There is probably no way... There's probably, like, no way that, you know, the thing was that. Could that? Yeah. Take that. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood at the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there was quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the bottom of the shoe? I mean... Yeah. No! No, like footprints! Like footprints, wasn't it? Like... Or maybe footprints? No, wait. Yeah, no, like... Maybe it's her shoes that are different. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found on the scene of the crime? Yeah! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints on the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Yo, we got an objection battle. Then where were they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, there were no footprints. Well, witness. What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then what? We have to ask why there wasn't such a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. I could imagine her doing the thinking pose, but hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Why wasn't there a hold it for Mr. Edgeworth on that line? Seriously. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I give her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar. I mean, she couldn't have been that. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in a lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! To cover the tracks? The suspect knocked it over for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Yeah. Also, oh no. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe was quite clearly to this ties her clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? That's where my sister's going on, Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... enough. There's no need to further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Ooh. Huh? Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you'll be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Oh, wait. A photograph? Yeah, let me see that. So... then wait a minute. Why was the victim on the floor? Why was the victim drawing on the floor then? A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. So, was it already wet before? Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems that's what your sister wanted anyway. But then what? I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Ah. Get yourself up from the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Objection! There you go, buddy. There you go, Nick. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this picture, the last one submitted. I'm not saying photograph again. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem in this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I gotta go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem. But then, wait a minute. What is it about that? It couldn't have been the knife, cause... Wait, what about the muffler? Wait. Yeah, why is this shoe off? It's like, why is it that the shoe, like, like, okay, so, like, she mentioned muffler, like, the muffler was gone, like, yeah, I think there's no muffler in the car, I think. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out from the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I can see no trace of a muffler or scarf from any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see, and I see. Yeah, there's something in the muffler. What is suspicious looking about this? What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out the car's muffler? So what is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Objection! Yeah, but there's something. I'm sorry, Miss Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you already told us why this is so important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth is related to this case. Yes. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Yeah. Yeah, Lana mentioned... yeah, Lana mentioned something about a muffler before she got caught. Could it be that the muffler you had already mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, woo! Arg! Dude, bro. Got her ass! Well, it seems that we'll have to suspend these proceedings. Suspend? I found myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered we would do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew! That was a close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all. He's still hungry? Yeah, man, he's still hungry. Wowee, dude. Wowee. Well, then. That definitely changes up things. Trial ladder. Well, I hope this doesn't take, like, too long, because... We really want to get to, you know, the investigation after all, I guess. Okay, so we got that all settled and done. So we will continue this next time. See you guys on next time. Bye, y'all.